And change scenes here. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's issue of Marketing Office Minutes with John Turino. Joining me today is our special guest, Renee Wilbur, who will be talking to us about some of the tips and techniques she's got for improving your sales results. If you haven't watched one of these before, the whole idea is actually for you to log in via Zoom in and ask your questions in real time. We'll put you right up here on the screen in gallery view. If you're not in real time and you're watching a replay, I would encourage you to follow this program. We do it every week. I'm looking for volunteers now for July. Next 2 weeks are going to be a special program, which I'll talk about a little bit at the end. But with no further ado, let me introduce Renee Wilbur. Good morning, Renee.
Good morning, John. How are you today?
I'm doing very well, thanks. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Renee. I mean, I've known you for a long time, but let's hear a little bit about you.
Well, let's see. I actually started networking, I think, since around 7 years old. I grew up right by the boardwalk in New Jersey, so it was Seaside Heights. So, yes, I've learned to connect to people at a very young age. And I started working at a very young age on the boardwalk and the restaurants. So I also, from, networking in sales, I specialized in sales. I've assisted in opening a few Home Depots. I ran with AT&T Corp. I've owned a cardiac and vascular sonography company. And so I have over 30 years of networking experience and 15 years of business operational experience. And I believe at my point of life now is that I'm a visionary. I see things that a lot of people don't see, if that makes sense, John. And I get up every day trying to add value to the lives of others because I've gone through so many challenges that I can relate to. And I know that so many people have a message. They want to make a difference, but they don't know how to get heard or how to go about things. So, yeah.
All right. And you recently, besides your other activities, launched a coaching business, Network with Results. I'm sorry, not Network with Results, but Wilbur Resources International, right?
That is correct.
Tell us a little bit about what kinds of coaching you provide. And I get my mouth to work this morning with Wilbur Resources.
Well, again, I see that there's a lot of people that buy services or products and they think they're going to get the results they need and they really don't. So after I actually developed a site prior to Wilbur Resources called Reciprocity. And Reciprocity is a global network. It took me 5 years to design that site. It's all custom programmed. So from Reciprocity, I developed Wilbur Resources International because that's what I do. I'm a sales coach and a business coach. I've owned 4 corps. So a lot of people, if they want to increase their sales, they have to look at the results that others provide. They have to look at their background and look at their social media and make sure that they connect to the right person. So I'm out there now helping others turbocharge their sales like never before because I've lived it, I breathed it, it's what I've done by owning all these corps, right? And so I'm here to help these small business owners instead of go out of business, say, okay, if you want to increase your sales, let's start at A and let's turbocharge the whole process. You know, how many calls are you making? I hold them accountable. I look at all their pages. I increase their social media. I produce results.
Okay. And what do you see as some of the most common pitfalls that salespeople fall into these days?
I think they don't capture opportunities, John. Being in sales, all my life, basically, I actually worked for a company way back when. It was called Office Pavilion, and even the owner was my competitor. And so you have to research these corps. They just go out, they have a title, and they want to sell a product, but do they actually partner with the companies that they're going after? Do they actually research these companies? Do they target their market? Do they pinpoint who they need to sell to? And then once they find somebody, then the process starts by maybe introducing themselves, going past that gatekeeper and developing a relationship with that gatekeeper to get to the decision maker. But I think a lot of people don't capture all the opportunities available to them, and maybe they don't know of all the opportunities available to them. That their target market, they can go down to the city and get a list because everybody needs a business license, right? So having all that aspects of owning these businesses that I have owned and managing employees, I can add all that value and save them so much time and money by pinpointing their target market and having them reach who they need to reach. Because, and then a lot of people are afraid they call themselves sales, but they're afraid of rejection. But to me, if you don't offer somebody your product, how do they know that it exists, or they might need your product? So I usually just call people and say, you know what, if I didn't call you, you may not even know that this product exists or what I can help you with. So instead of looking at it as rejection, I look at it as an opportunity. And also, I also take every scenario and change the negative to the positive. What's the positive in that? So I focus on the positive, I focus on opportunities, and I think that's what a lot of people lack. And then also with follow-ups, I don't think that they do all the follow-ups or capture everything that's available to them, by emailing people and keeping engaged and keeping in contact. Because even with marketing, a post is great, but if you don't engage, you're not building relationships. What it comes down to, John, it's about relationships. It's who like, and trust, and who they know, like, and trust. So it's all relationships.
It's interesting, the results I've seen from people who are doing networking, one-on-one networking at events. The biggest mistake the ones that fail at it make is not following up. I mean, they'll go to a networking event or two and nobody buys anything instantly, so they just kind of forget about it. They either stop going or they don't call people up or email them or invite them for one-on-ones or for coffee and stuff like that. And until, as you say, people get to know and like and trust you, they're not going to buy anything from you.
Right. Usually it takes, I didn't mean to interrupt. Yeah. I think it takes, about 5 or 7 times for something, a lot of times for something to come across the desk.
I think the statistics I've seen have actually gone up from 5 to 7 to 7 to 10. Yeah.
Wow. And then also with networking, I think a lot of people think it's about them, and it's not. It's about you. It's the more you get to know that person, how you can add value. I love that word value because, again, I'm at that point where it's about you. It's about them and how you can add value to their lives. But how can you add value to their lives if you don't know their needs?
Right, exactly. So, and also I think there's a simple fact that people aren't always ready to buy something because they may not need it yet, or they may not want it.
Right, but you never know if they know somebody who does,
right.
Or when the time comes, out of sight, out of mind, right?
Right.
If you don't know that you're out there, when the time comes, are they going to connect to you? So that's why you have to keep engaged with them and just maybe even send them a birthday card or a thank you card, or once a month, just send them an email and say, I'm still here. If you need anything, let me know. Yeah. And so I think a lot of people get so caught up with all of this abundance of information and all these different sites and all the posting that they forget the simple things that can really make a difference.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Renee. And you're an expert at networking simply because you've also started networking with Results International about a year ago, I guess. Tell us a little bit about that organization.
Oh my gosh. Well, networking with Results actually started with Reciprocity way back, maybe about 4 years ago or something. We used to have the High Achievers Club because Reciprocity allows others to see results. And so I tested it way back. But last year it was time. After Wilbur Resources, I see things that a lot of people do not see. And being from the East Coast, if you didn't take the opportunity, somebody's right behind you to grab it. They're like, move aside, I'll take it. So anyway, I wanted to create a new way to network that's never been done before. So I found my first chapter leader, and she's awesome. And her name was Brittany. And so we started the Vancouver chapter. And creating a new way to network is we actually took down the walls. We're taking away the walls. The way that we've been networking has been the same for so many years. And they usually network behind four walls, and they maybe pass a referral, or, I referred this one, or I referred that one. I'm like, can you share that lead, And so by taking away the walls and letting everyone know that your networking group exists, then they can save time and money, right? They can see the most productive groups to join, and they can request to join those groups. So we allow 3 per industry, because it's like going to multi-chamber events. But we wanted to cap it so we can have 3 mortgage, 3 realtors, but they have to be from different companies.
Oh, I see.
And when they're not, if another chapter's not capped, they can cross-promote their services.
Oh,
so we have one member, within months, he's so busy that he goes to these events, but when we meet one-on-one, guess what happens is that these other people that you develop relationships, they take a piece of you wherever they travel. Because a lot of people want to feel needed. They love to share referrals. They especially with somebody they know and trust, right? It'd be like if I trust you, John, and somebody comes to me, I'm like, oh, you got to call John if it's anything to do with marketing.
Yeah.
So now you have an abundance of people taking a piece of you wherever they go. So it's all actual connections. And when we're not meeting in person, we're sharing resources and referrals within minutes on Reciprocity. So people can not only connect to a trusted connection of mine, but a friend of mine or a colleague can capture work within minutes. Never been done before. And it's a global network. It's not just, one website. So we're doing this on a global network. And we have our groups, and we communicate on a private group wall. And if you need anything, a painter, electrician, you post it, and everyone in your whole entire state can see that post and come to your aid. So there's nothing like it, Jim. Nothing like it. We took the walls away.
Yeah. I participated obviously in many of the Network with Results groups.
Yes, you have.
Those meetings, and I think they're fantastic for a couple of reasons. Not the least of which is the best practices portion of them, where each member pops up each week and talks a little bit about what they've done really great or what really works for them in terms of, maybe follow-up, maybe social media, maybe applications, all kinds of different things. So everybody gets a chance to share their tips and their expertise with everybody else in the group. And that's a really effective mechanism that really differentiates, I think, the Network with Results meetings from any others.
Oh, yeah, because it's not only best practices, but we have speakers. And then also after the Vancouver group, because we actually pack beaches with, 30 plus people, if not more, is that my leaders, I select really good leaders, because leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. I'm a John Maxwell coach as well. And so we have Corrine and Jim Best, Corrine's the leader of the Fort Vancouver, Jim's the co-chair. Ken is the leader of the Portland, and Charisse is the co-chair. Kathy is the one for Clackamas, and Barbara is the co-chair. We just launched Sherwood, and Shinching is the leader for the Beaverton group chapter, and David is the co-chair. But these leaders, I tell you what, they're awesome. They're there for their members. They engage with them. It just feels like you're with family. And what we're doing is we're actually finding the right leaders. Okay, with my leadership team, we're finding the right leaders, and we're actually kind of creating teams. And can you imagine, John? Now, just picture this. A lot of people, they don't see what I see. You create these trusted teams wherever you go across the nation, and then eventually across the world. So it's actual trusted connections that people can save time, save money, and get the support and resources they need right away. Does that make sense? We create an endless stream of support and resources and business opportunities for one another, much different than other sites.
And you've integrated links for people to their LinkedIn and Facebook and other accounts on Reciprocity, right? So somebody can find more detail if they just click on the people's links?
Oh, there's nothing like it. A lot of people don't know that if they optimize their profile, Well, let me go back to what Reciprocity really is of this global network.
You bet.
Remember years ago, business owners started locally. Have even the Home Depot. They probably started in a restaurant on a napkin. Nike, maybe in a garage. Everybody starts with this vision. They want to make a difference. So they start local. Now, what if, and then your community members took you where you needed to go, right? So what if, instead of just your community, you do it within a region, that you can reach all these members in a region. So anybody who wants to network, or anybody in your region, they create a profile on Reciprocity. So it's not just connecting to seconds and thirds with imaginary, it's connecting to actual connections. You could see all of your business members, right? And you can find all your power partners, because maybe you're a fourth or a fifth or a sixth, but you're a power partner of mine. I can find you right away. So a lot of people don't know that they can optimize their profile on Reciprocity, that you can be found. Like, say, I'm going to take you as an example, John. If I put in marketing, I can find you. If I put in your first name, I can find you. If I put in your last name, I can find you. If I put in any of those keywords, sales, if you use sales in your profile, I can find you. So I'm not mixed in with the World Wide Web. I'm in my local network, that I can develop relationships locally. I can connect to you. So once you create a profile, you optimize your profile. I can link to your Facebook right away. I can like your Facebook. I can view your LinkedIn profile. I can follow you on Google. I can view your YouTube. If I hover over your picture, your business picture commercial can come alive. How much would that cost somebody, right?
Right.
And if I click, that's just by your one little profile. I can message you. If I click on your name, I can invite you to my business group. I can send you a referral. I can save you as a contact. And this is just from your profile. So I can find any member either locally, regionally, nationally, or globally on Reciprocity. It's the first site that allows you to customize it according to your needs. Because if you're a painter, you're really not doing painting in New Jersey or Florida, or a realtor. You're not selling homes in Florida. So you actually customize Reciprocity according to your needs. You could stand out, be found, and increase your sales faster than ever before. And like I said, you could be a fourth connection of somebody. I might not ever connect to you, but on Reciprocity, I can.
Wow. Well, going back to your statement about your affinity for the word value, I mean, this sounds like an awfully valuable platform. It must cost a lot.
No, actually, Reciprocity is a growth company, so it's free to join.
Really?
We have thousands of members across the globe right now, and it's absolutely free. So all of these groups in your region, they should actually duplicate their group on Reciprocity, because once they do, everybody in the region can not only see all the members within that group, because sometimes with networking groups, you have one specialty, or you have, open networking groups. So if it's one specialty and you see there's an electrician or a plumber in there, not to join it or request to join. But you could still see those members in there. Now, if you start sharing referrals, John, guess what? You start moving up the list. And people always say, Renee, how is a referral qualified? And I always answer the same way. Number one, we're all local. So we usually know all the members locally and who to trust and who not to trust. But you will never get credit unless I accept that referral. So referrals are, if I send a qualified referral to you, I already ask them if they need marketing, if they need this, and if they do want to connect to you or want me to send you a referral, then I would send you a referral. You can accept that referral. The most active members move to the top of the list. The most active groups move to the top of the list. And what does that do? Anybody coming into the state or region, they could see the most productive members. Like we have one member who has sent almost 100 referrals. Well, what does that tell me? That tells me he knows somebody. So if I'm in the need of a painter or electrician, you think I'm going to contact him? You better believe it. So he has new contacts, right? So he gains new contacts. And in the groups, if you send the referrals, the members will say, oh, well, you're not going to send more referrals than I am. So they're more apt to think of their group members wherever they go. Why wait a week? Right from the phone, I could send a colleague a referral, get credit for it, show results. All corporations, John, all corporations want to see results.
Yeah.
Why should it be different? They don't just say, well, let me see the sales, or where's the sales. They want to see the actual numbers. They want to see the results.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it's interesting that in my marketing consulting work, where I talk to people about who their target markets are and what messages will resonate and what media is best for delivering it, I'm constantly, I want to say surprised, but actually unsurprised at the number of people who have no clue who their target markets really are and how effective their messages are or how effective their media selection is, because they don't have mechanisms in place to measure those results. And I'll go back to Dr. Deming when I used to teach quality assurance and ISO 9000 and design for test. If you can't measure it, you can't improve it. I mean,
thank you.
It's just, you got to be able to measure it. So before launching a campaign, whether it's email or social media or anything else, you need to put the mechanisms in place, the analytics in place, and all that sort of stuff, or you're just, you're wasting your time and your effort and your money.
Right. And it's not a difficult site to use at all. It says share something on the wall. Do you know one post reaches every single member in your state and all nearby states? Not only is this beneficial for business members, they're thinking, oh, it's another site. No, I've been there. I can relate. I've done that. That's why I developed the site, is to make it much more productive, much more productive. One post can reach every member, but even for emergencies, because I'm from Seaside, when Sandy hit, do you know one post on that wall could let everybody know right away where all the gas stations and the homeless shelters were, or the shelters were. One post. It's not reaching people in Oregon. We don't need to know it. They need to know it right then.
Yeah, so right.
It saves a lot of time, but a lot of people, it's like, oh, but I need to maybe go on this and increase my whatever. Well, even if it's likes aren't going to bring home dinner. I mean, it's good that you have more likes. It's good that you have more engagement. And don't get me wrong, other sites are great. They have their benefits. I mean, they really do. This is just, it's a different theory. It's bringing everything back locally with a larger region, so you can get to know all of your community members, and we're all on Reciprocity Network. But it brings that productivity. The productivity into it. It's not, because everything, like I said, there's social sites that you want to keep in touch with your friends and stuff. This is a productive business site. We're all on, in the business section, we're all on Reciprocity Network. Yeah,
I remember back not too long ago, the big sales pitch for a lot of people was to tell you they would get you a lot more likes on Facebook. And they would transmit that stuff out to anybody and his brother who was breathing or alive or had an account. And all that it served to do really was it inflated your likes, and it skewed all of your engagement numbers, because now if you have 500 new likes and only one or two cared, your engagement numbers go into the infinitesimally small. So it's much, much better to have quality than it is to have quantity.
That's right.
It sounds to me like that's something that you've managed to come across within the Reciprocity platform.
Oh yeah, it's and plus I think you can buy them too. So you can't buy your way on Reciprocity. There is, and you don't have to pay extra. There's no, $5 to promote or anything like that. You can promote, and like I said, you reach all your members within your whole entire state. It brings back the value, that old time community feeling where, we used to have a milkman that offered a smile. And being a business owner, like I said, I'm on a mission. I truly believe this is what I was born to do. is to offer value, bring back the community, but allow it because of the internet within a speed of light. If I wanted to travel to New Jersey, I could, not only to promote my business, but there is a community section on Reciprocity that if I had a loved one in New Jersey, I could actually jump over to New Jersey, find somebody in the community section that offers companionship and say, can you be with my sister until I can get there? Oh, wow. So I target Reciprocity according to my needs. I don't throw my business in the World Wide Web, because there's billions of people on the World Wide Web. Why would you want to do that? People are struggling to get their message heard. But number one, most people start local, right? So if you start local, but if you do have a national company, you could create, in your profile, you could create a location on the East Coast, West Coast, the Midwest, or in the countries, and you could be seen in those areas. Yeah. So again, instead of throwing your business in the World Wide Web, getting mixed in with all of these billions of people, not getting your message heard, connecting to people that you really don't know, and they will never do business with you because they don't know you. Yeah. I'm like, and then they're paying to do all this. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Wow. Now, you've got a course, I think, is it an online course on how to use that platform, Reciprocity platform?
I do. You heard of Facebook training, you heard of LinkedIn training. Well, now there's Reciprocity training. Okay. I have a course on June 22nd, and it's a webinar, and it's an entire tutorial because most people don't even know the power of this site. They have no idea of the power of what Reciprocity can do for them. Instead of wasting time and money, they can save so much time and so much money. They can find their power partners. They can network with all business members in their community. Well, of course, with permission. But I could find all my power partners right now, message them or even call them and say, can we meet for coffee? I want to get to know you. Yeah. And they could start building their email list. And it doesn't cost anything but just a few minutes of their time. That's it. Wow. And so it's just amazing. And then with Network with Results, what's beautiful about that is that, like I said, we're using a global network. Most of our group members on our wall, because we have a group wall, they respond. They're all active. They get an email, plus they get a message on Reciprocity. But we have WRI, we have Reciprocity, we do use social sites to turbocharge it all, and then with the newsletters. So all of our members, it's just amazing how this is working, that it's not just, like I said, one site. We have sponsors sponsoring, and John, you're an advisor for all of our members in all our chapters, if anybody needs marketing advice. So it's more like building that community again and connecting our members. Yeah. So we have sponsors, and I do want to recognize them. They're amazing. They're supporting our small business owners, and that in itself, no words can express that because they see what it's doing. So we have Warehouse 23 Beaches, we have Ben's Bottle Shop, we have Trees Restaurant, Mecom Bistro, Old Chicago Pizza and Tap Room, the Beaverton Executive Suites. I don't want to miss anybody. I think I got them.
Regis, I think Regis in the
Regis. Yeah, Regis. What amazing, just amazing. Yeah. Bringing all our, and Regis. It's just amazing how we have, like I said, with our sponsors and our advisors and the members supporting one another and our leaders leading and our advisors, advising and the guidance. And so there's definitely nothing like it. And then all these other sites that it gets promoted and cross-promoted. And so, yeah.
Wow. Sounds like a heck of a network. Now, we're running out of time here. If people want to get a hold of you, either for your coaching services or for your Reciprocity information or Network with Results information, what's the best way for people to contact you?
Well, they can contact me at Renee, RENEE, at Reciprocity, RECIPROTY, Reciprocity.com. Okay. And the site is Reciprocity, which is RECIPROTY. They can always find me on the wall. Let's see, anything else? I'm sorry.
How about Wilbur Resources?
Oh, yeah, they can contact me at Renee, Renee, at wilburresources.com. And Wilbur is with a U, so it's WILBUR, resources.com. And people always say, well, how do you pronounce it? A lot of people love the name. It's reciprocate on reciprocity. So if you remember that, then that's what it is.
All right. Well,
so I really want to take this time to thank all of my leaders because without them, it's not me. It's the people. I want to thank you, John, because you're an integral part of Reciprocity and Network with Results. You know firsthand. You've known me for years.
Yeah.
And I want to thank all my members because it's them. It's not, I just try to get up every day to offer. I'm always thinking of things to offer. How can I add more value to their lives?
Well, you certainly do that, and it's been my experience that you're certainly succeeding at it. I will be adding your contact information and mine when I convert this into a video that's uploadable. I use Movie Maker to do that, so I'll add your contact information and mine into credits. And this will be up on YouTube sometime later this afternoon. It takes a little while to convert from Zoom and then convert to Movie Maker and then upload to Facebook and to YouTube. And actually, I have to upload them twice because Facebook likes you better if you upload your videos directly to them rather than having a link to YouTube. So it's a little bit of a complicated process, but it will get done. Thank you again so much.
Wait, before we go, I also want to say, I'm not sure if I mentioned Kim in Vancouver chapter 2. So I want to make sure I recognize all my members.
Okay.
And she's been there since the beginning as well. Her name is Kim. She's awesome. So I want to make sure I get everybody involved because all of my members are so important to me.
All right. Well, super. Before I close this, I would like to show a couple of things that are coming up in the near future. The program airs every week, and we don't have a guest speaker for the 23rd of June and the 30th of June because I'm doing a special program, a 2-part course on building your ideal profile on LinkedIn. There will be a charge for this one, so you have to email John at johnturino.com and request the password. And you'll be taken to a PayPal button where you can buy that. If you're a Network with Results International member, you get a $10 discount. The course is only $49 for both Part 1 and Part 2. So you'll be able to log in at each one. We're in about a half an hour. One on June 23rd, one on June 30th. So please do join us for that set of programs. And then I am looking for volunteers, victims, if you will, like Renee, who are willing to spend a half an hour with me on a Thursday morning to tell us about their business and share their expertise and share their insights into the world and hopefully help add value to all of us and educate all of us. So again, thanks very much, Renee, for joining us this morning. I really appreciate it. And
thank you, John. I really appreciate you.
All right. Well, thank you. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.